Hello, Facebook. I'm looking for my remote so I can turn down the music. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy May Day. Does anybody know the story of May Day and why it's May Day? Do you know that, Colton? Something about dancing around a maypole. That's all I know. I should have looked that up. It just dawned on me it was May 1st. So this is the epitome of an impromptu cooking session because I wasn't even sure I was going to be cooking. But I printed out this recipe earlier today because I knew I had some cod. I've been on a cod kick lately, and you know, it's fish, so you got to eat it or freeze it. And I probably will freeze half of it, but I'm going to eat the other half. So that's what we're going to try. And I found this recipe. It looks pretty easy. It looks pretty simple. It looks pretty quick. I have not made it, so we'll give it a shot and see how it is. My son's there eating a burger, so I'm watching him spitting out bits of burned cheese. Whatever. Okay, this is called foolproof fish with spiced chickpeas. I'm using cod. You can use any kind of a good white fish. So you could use halibut, you could use cod, you could probably use swordfish. And we're gonna basically put it all together in a sauce with carrots and chickpeas, and then we're going in a kind of like a sauce and put it in the oven. Now I'm missing a couple of the ingredients for this, but we're gonna just wing it and modify appropriately, and hopefully that'll work out. But I've got some ideas here because, you know, I just don't go to the store very much anymore. So first of all, I don't have shallots. Like, I haven't had shallots for every single recipe I've done, but you can sub onion. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sub onion. It's not as good. The shallots have a more oniony flavor and oniony and delicate at the same time, but we're just gonna do onion. So you're gonna chop, what this says is, let's see if I can read the directions for you. First of all, you wanna preheat your oven to 300, which I'm doing, and place a rack in the middle of the oven, preheat to 300. And now we're gonna prep. I think this is still too loud. Can you hear the Clash? One of my favorite Clash songs, but probably hard to hear the Clash and me, Paul and Mick and the boys. I think Mick Jones is still alive. I don't know if the rest of them are still alive or not. The Clash, the singers from the Clash. I know what's his name, Paul? Spacing. Anyway, beautiful afternoon out there. I went golfing this afternoon, just 9 holes, walked. The golf courses are back open. Our course has been open kind of off and on as we get in trouble with the sheriff and people complain. So we've been walking the course for a while, and it's nice to have everything back now. Not everything, but you still have to walk and carry your bag, but actually I'm finding that that is something I really enjoy. I've never enjoyed that before, but now that I had to, I kind of actually enjoy it. So that's all good. I've got kind of a bum shoulder though, so it kind of hurts to swing and it gets a little sore. So 9 holes is perfect for me. So you need 2 little bowls, a medium bowl, and a little bowl, of which I have. I also have large bowls, but you don't need that today. So what this says is, cut the shallots, divide them between a medium bowl and a small bowl. So let's do that. These are not cut very finely. I wouldn't worry about it. Only Patrick and I are gonna be eating this, and we like onions. If it was the kids, I might remove the onions, right, Colton? You don't like onions? But it's just us, so I'm gonna just wing it. Okay, so divide the shallots into 2 bowls. Now here's where I'm gonna modify something. I don't have any raisins. I don't really like raisins, but this calls for raisins in the skillet as you're cooking the fish. Golden raisins. Now golden raisins and regular raisins are very different, and golden raisins are actually very, very good in things like curries, and I think that's kind of what this is. It's not really a curry, but it's got turmeric in it and ginger. So I'm gonna modify, and I was trying to think of what kind of modify with, but my friend Denise just dropped off a bunch of her homemade jams last week, and I have an Addy's jam. It's a marmalade with Meyer lemon. And I tasted this, it's really, really good. And it kind of has, it's got a sweetness, but it's also got a little bit of a marmalade kind of bitterness. So I'm gonna actually use this. Now it's obviously not a raisin, so I can't chop it like it's required, but I'm gonna somehow figure out how to mix it into the sauce before we put it in. And I think it's gonna have the correct flavor. We'll see. It's certainly not gonna be bad. So let's forget about the raisins. Okay, add 2 tablespoons red wine vinegar and a little salt to the shallot mixture. Well, which shallot mixture? The small shallot or the medium shallot? Toss gently with a spoon. This is a sauce for the fish. Wait until the second half to add the mint leaves. Let me see, I just need to figure out where I want to put this, into the small or medium. Well, maybe we'll just make it even and then it won't really matter. Okay, let's do that. 2 tablespoons, I'm just gonna eyeball that. That's probably more than 2 tablespoons, but so what? 2 tablespoons red vinegar and a little bit of salt. It calls for kosher salt. I'm not gonna use kosher salt. I'm gonna just use a little bit of my sea salt, 1/4 teaspoon, who knows? Who knows? So anyway, yeah, played golf today. Beautiful, very crowded out there. Relatively speaking, we have to get a tee time now. That's one of the requirements, which usually we can just go out and kind of wing it and play on the list and get out there. But anyway, it was good, it was beautiful. I had 4 pars in a row, which is pretty unusual for me. I had a bad first hole, then I had 4 pars in a row, and then I had, the last 2 holes weren't so good. I think they were a bogey and a double bogey, but whatever, we don't care. Okay, so that is gonna sit a little bit. We're gonna put that in later. Garlic, it says 3 garlic cloves. I'm gonna try to keep it so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. It says 3, so I'm gonna just do 4, because that's how I roll. Garlic, onion, spices, I wouldn't say I double it typically, but I typically add more. Maybe I 1 1/4 it, 1 1/2 it. If you watch any of my cooking shows, cooking videos, I am not a precision cook at all. At all, and I don't want to be. I don't like to follow rules, generally speaking. So cooking suits me. My dog just came in. We got the dog, the boy, and probably the husband, since the dog just came back. I think they're at the park walking. Okay, so with regard to the garlic, thinly sliced. So we're not putting it in a press, which is what I usually do. So I think this is gonna be kind of, as I said, I've never made this. So I think it's gonna be a sauce with some kind of bits of garlic in it and bits of onion and bits of ginger. So this should be interesting. I think it's gonna have kind of a, similar to the COD I made a couple weeks ago with the turmeric. It might be similar to that. So we'll see. So that's chopped garlic. I didn't thinly slice it, I just chopped it. Garlic fingers. I actually love the smell of garlic. Just don't itch your eyes when you're doing garlic or onion or jalapenos. That is the absolute worst if you do that with jalapenos. Okay, so there's the garlic. Now we need ginger. So usually I grate this, but this says finely chop. Maybe I'll do a little of each, because again, it's asking for this 2.5 inch piece of ginger. I've just taken a couple of little pieces out. Yeah, we'll try this. We'll try chopping this. So you gotta get the skin off of there. And I might also do some of the mincing of it, so its flavor is a little more pervasive in the sauce. So we got a little of each. Yeah, let's do that. Because you know how ginger can be, sometimes you get a big piece of it and you're like, whoosh. Is it martini time?
It's martini 30.
It's martini 30. Quarantini 30. Quarantini. Patrick just walked in too, and it is Friday night, and it is 7:15, which is a little late for us because we didn't play golf till 4:30 or 4:45, and we just played 9, but yeah, we're ready. And I'm actually gonna make a margarita once I put this in the oven. So you guys can stay with me for that. My famous grapefruit margaritas. They're so good. It's my typical Friday night thing. Well, typical Friday night used to be us going to Tony's Hakal in Solana Beach, but that is no longer for us until this is over. I guess they can do takeout, but I've just been cooking. We haven't done takeout dinner once. Okay, that's the ginger. Now let's see if we can start cooking this. Ginger finely chopped. Rinse 2 medium carrots. Okay, I have carrots, already rinsed them. Let's see what it says about these. Always cut the end off the carrots. You don't have to peel them. If they're really gnarly and nasty, peel them. But if they're not, just deal with them. You know, the skin is obviously good for you. It says to thinly slice on a diagonal. Okay. I'm probably not going to be very compliant in this either. You can use one of those, what do you call those things that cut?
Shredder?
No, you guys know out there.
Slicer?
It's a mandolin, I've had a mandolin for years. I used it once and it cut the heck out of my finger. I've never used it again. So I'm scared of them. So I'm just using the Santuka knife, which I love this thing. So cut them on a diagonal, cut them however you want. Just cut the carrots. And these and the chickpeas, aka garbanzo beans, are going to go into a cast iron. Let's see what we have to do here. I might wait for a second on this. Yeah, drain and rinse 2 cans of chickpeas. I'll do that in a second. Cast iron. Everybody should have a big old cast iron pan. They're great for all kinds of things, but particularly these kind of one-dish meals. You don't want to use soap when you clean them. You just want to use super hot water, and then you want to put some more oil in there, and then I put a big towel over that so the oil doesn't get on everything. But they're really great to use. And they can go right in the oven, which is also great. All right, divide 3 tablespoons oil in a medium, drizzle, not divide, medium cast iron skillet and heat over medium. Then we're gonna add the shallots. Okay, let's get this going. Okay, olive oil, definitely a staple in the house. This also has fresh mint in it at the end. So I luckily have a neighbor across the street, Michelle Sayer, who's got a ton of mint. So went over to her house and she said, take whatever you want. She's getting rid of it, which is a bummer. Maybe I should just take all the plants and replant them in my garden. What garden is that? The garden you're gonna get me for Mother's Day, right? I guess not. I really want a garden. I don't like to grow things, but I just want herbs that I can just go out and snip. I'm not really good with living things, well, except kids and dogs and snakes. I fed the snake today, and husbands. I'm good with living beings, but not plants. It's just, I've never been able to keep those babies alive. Okay, so we're heating up the oil in here, and let's see what's next. Add reserved shallots, the non-shallot raisin mixture. Well, I don't know which one is which. One has shallots, one has nothing. Medium bowl. I just wonder where the wine goes to the shallot mixture. I think that's supposed to have the raisins in there, so we'll just leave that. Yeah, okay. So let's just take the other shallot mixture. It's not very clear. They should write this recipe better. Let's put the other shallot mixture in here. We're gonna brown those briefly with a spatula in the cast iron skillet. Let's find out what's next. Oh, I gotta get the chickpeas. These are just Simple Truth organic. That means they're Ralph's brand Simple Truth. Drain them, and then these are gonna go in at some point. And like I said, I haven't made this. It looks really good. It sounds really good. It's kind of like a one in everything. You got vegetables, you've got starch, got everything you need. Garbanzo beans, you've got the garbanzo bean family. So just put those in a colander and rinse them briefly. Garbanzo beans aren't too bad. Like a white bean or a navy bean, they get a little icky and you really have to rinse those. You're making me thirsty with that martini. I don't want a martini though. I want a margarita, and I'm gonna have one in about 10 minutos. Cinco de Mayo's coming up. I'm gonna do a show on my carnitas for that next Tuesday. You done? You can probably get that to the dog, give them that piece. I bet you'd like that. Oh yeah, a little grass-fed beef burger. Dog likes that. Okay. Cook, stirring occasionally, about 3 to 5 minutes. Add the ginger, garlic, turmeric, crushed red pepper, and cook. Okay. I'm gonna let that get a little more. So you're gonna need turmeric, the spice, some crushed red pepper, the spice, and garlic and ginger, which we already have. Then you're gonna add the rest of this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add this then. Turmeric, a teaspoon. I'm just gonna guess. Maybe a little extra, you know how I am. 1/2 a teaspoon. Now this one you want to be careful with, because these are actually fairly spicy. You can always add more. So we got the ginger, the garlic, and the turmeric, and the red pepper flakes. Watch your heat, because you can burn this pretty easily, or you could put a little more oil in if you want. But oh wow, this smells good. So you know, that fresh ginger and the fresh garlic, the aroma of that is incredible, with the shallots and then the turmeric. I'm going to put a little more oil in because it's getting a little dry and sticky. And I didn't measure if I'd actually put 3 tablespoons in or not. A little Spando Ballet. You know this much is true. Cook until fragrant. It's fragrant. I guess next up, increase heat to medium. Add the chickpeas, carrots, more olive oil. Okay, carrots. I just added more olive oil, so we'll wait on that one. Right in here, I think you guys can see this. I'm gonna get a taller one of these so you can see down on the food. Here's the rinsed chickpeas. Just gonna put those right in there. Okay. Chickpeas, carrots, more olive oil, salt. I'll put a little salt in there. I know it's gonna need a little salt. How is it?
Oh, it's good.
Chickpea on the loose. Love garbanzo beans. Any of you out there make your own hummus? Super easy to do. And very
Happy
good.
Friday, everyone.
Patrick Brown.
Happy May 1st.
I think, are you gonna do a concert tomorrow in the driveway?
Possibly.
He is Bob Weir in the Easy Wind Band, Grateful Dead Band, and they haven't been able to play, obviously, like nobody's been able to play, but he can do a bunch of stuff on his own. So tomorrow he may be doing a little solo concert in our driveway, respecting social distance, of course. And if so, we will live it and you can partake with us. It's a bring your own chair if you want to, if you're in the hood. Bring your own drinks. And just
And your own mask.
bring your own mask if you're going to be 6 feet within somebody.
Can't
And
share our masks.
we cannot share a mask. We only have one each. So hopefully that will happen tomorrow afternoon, happy hour.
We'll see. Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen tomorrow, it's going to happen soon, probably within the next week or so.
I
So
might have a special guest. We'll see.
special gift,
But only using
social
proper
distancing.
social distance.
Yeah, don't
Physical
report
distance.
us. Don't call us. Don't call the sheriff. Okay, this is
Happy
looking really
weekend,
good.
everybody. See ya.
Bye. See you in 10 minutes. Okay, so we put the ginger, the garlic, the turmeric, the crushed red pepper, and we're cooking until fragrant. Increasing heat. I'm going to increase the heat a little more to high to medium. Cook until everything is combined and well coated and flavors have melded. Melded, I like that word. 3 to 4 minutes. Remove the pan from heat. Okay, next, let's get the fish ready. The fish is from Costco, my favorite store. And this is fresh wild black cod. 2 good pieces. I'm only going to use one of them. This is 2.2 pounds, so basically, oh, that looks good. It smells like fish. That's a nice piece of black cod. I'm gonna wash my hands. Let's see, how are we gonna do this? Cut it in pieces. It's all gonna fit in there. I think, yeah, I'm gonna do it in 4s. And we'll just nestle it in there. Now one of the pieces on the end will be pretty skinny. The tail. Because these fish, you know, they just don't make them perfectly. You got a skinny piece and you got a fat piece. But it's alright. Looks good. That is the cod. Now what I'm thinking about this marmalade, I think I'm going to mix it in with that. So I'm just going to take, that's probably about the equivalent of a tablespoon. And like I said, the recipe doesn't call for this, but it's so good, this marmalade, Meyer lemon marmalade. Oh, And I think it's gonna fulfill the need of having the golden raisins that should be in here cooking, or should be in here with the shallots, which aren't really shallots, they're onions. Yes, so the important thing about cooking is you can just do whatever you want, especially if you kind of know your way around a kitchen. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna make modifications, which I do constantly. Okay, this is looking great. A little more olive oil because that turmeric is sticking a spat. Not a big deal. So again, with cast iron, you can use anything to clean it, but just don't use soap. And if you really have to use soap, go ahead, but you might have to season the pan again. Just hot water and scrubbing, you can soak it. The other thing about cast iron is you need, once you've washed it, rinsed it, you need to wipe it down immediately. Don't let it sit there with water on it. Other than that, really easy to take care of. And they're really good. Okay, I think we're ready. Cut the fish into even portions, season with salt. Okay, a little salt. Not too much, not too much. You are connected. We don't want that fish connected still. So this has skin on it, which I didn't expect. Patrick won't like that, but no deal. You can also take it off the skin. Nestle it into the chickpea, transfer to the oven. Bake until the flesh begins to flake away. Yeah, so this is gonna go on afterwards. Oh, that's gonna be good. I'm gonna use my non-fish hand and taste that. Oh yeah, that is gonna be good. And there's a little piece of marmalade. I'm gonna just throw that in there. Meyer lemon. So Addy's jams, they are so incredible. When I post this, I'll put a link on there for you. Okay, remove from heat. Now we have to nestle the cod in. So let's get to nestling here, shall we? Nestle, nestle, nestle. Nestle, nestle, nestle. Somehow I now have 5 pieces. I guess one of the pieces fell apart. So we're nestling the cod. I mean, how often do you get to nestle a cod? It just doesn't happen very regularly. Whew, nestle. Okay, nestle the chickpea, nestle into the chickpea mixture and transfer to oven. Okay, this looks pretty good. I'm gonna, hopefully you can see it. Yeah, you can see this. It looks good. It's nestled. It's nestled pretty nicely. And you're gonna cook till the fish is done. Now that's gonna vary depending on how thick the fish is, but we'll give it a try. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands and go put that in the oven. Then we're going to go to margarita time. Okay, oven should be at 300. This is gonna be hot, so be careful, and it's heavy. So you gotta be in shape to cook. Okay, I don't know how long that's gonna take. This says 15 to 20 minutes. I say it's gonna take more like 20, but I'm gonna set the timer for 15, just because we don't want to overdo it. You can always put it back in. And I don't like overdone fish, like most people don't like overdone fish. Okay, it is set for 15 minutes. So in the meantime, we coarsely chop the mint, and I'm gonna get rid of this cutting board because it's got stuff on it, which we don't want. And I am going to, ooh, you know what? I just thought of something. We can use mint in the margaritas. Doesn't that sound good? Now I say that because it's not something I just made up. When I started making this margarita that I make, it's called a fresca margarita because I use fresh grapefruit juice, fresh lime juice, club soda. Anyway, it calls for mint. So why not throw some mint in there? I'm not sure how much mint I need because does the recipe say 1 cup of mint leaves? That's a lot of mint leaves. So we're gonna cut up a cut of mint leaves. Cut up some mint leaves to fulfill a cup, whatever. A cup of mint leaves, how about that? We'll see. And you aren't gonna put this till the end because if you put this in now, it would be all brown and oxidized and gross, and you would lose some of the flavor of that. So you don't want that. Again, Michelle Sayer, thank you so much for the mint leaves. Sorry that your closet broke. Mikey, oh yeah, Mikey, you'll like this one because it has ginger and turmeric. So you will enjoy this recipe. I'll let you know how it is, obviously, but I can't imagine it would not be good with these ingredients. And it's cod. I mean, it's really, I seriously can't imagine it wouldn't be good. Okay, so it says, coarsely chop the mint, add to the bowl with the shallot raisin mixture. So it's really not a shallot raisin mixture. It's an onion, red wine vinegar, and Addy's Meyer lemon marmalade mixture. That's what it is. So I think it's gonna actually be really good with that. Golden raisins would be good too, but we had to improvise. You gotta improvise. Okay, that's not a cup. Cup seems like an awful lot, doesn't it? A cup of mint. Seems like a lot to me. I'm not gonna put a cup in. You can also do basil. It's not gonna be quite as flavorful as mint, but and you could, if you didn't have fresh mint, you could use dry mint. I've done that before. It's not as good, but it does impart some of the mint flavor. So you can kind of get away with that in a pinch. I think mint is gonna be important in here because again, it's kind of like a Vietnamese flavor. This looks really good. It's very mint strong, and I think this is gonna go in at the end. We'll see. And it's always hard the first time you make a recipe because you don't really know it. You don't know really kind of the process, but this looks great. I think it's gonna be quite tasty with all these ingredients. Okay, so guess what time it is now? Margarita time. Oops, we forgot a carrot. It's good. It's yummy. It's spicy. Okay. Where's my shaker? Oh, my husband's using the shaker. Use the other shaker. Ooh, that's spicy. Okay. This is not my favorite shaker, but we'll deal with it. So we're gonna go right into margarita making. Margarita making 101. Use fresh ingredients. Do not use mix. Do not use red pepper or red wine vinegar or turmeric. Limes, fresh limes. This is a little hot. I'm running out of counter space. So since I'm the only one drinking margaritas tonight, I'm gonna make a full thing of them. And I'll probably have 2 big ones, 2 big pint glasses. And again, no precision here. I'm gonna do what I have, 1, 2, 3, 4 limes. I'll do 5 limes. And if you don't drink all the margaritas, all you have to do is freeze them. They freeze great. Even when I have a big party and I make a bunch for a party, like a big old vat of them, and we don't drink them, I just freeze them. And that works really, really well. So tomorrow, I guess, today the beaches were open, right? Or is it the other day? And I know that they shut them down in Orange County because people were not compliant with the social distancing, physical distancing. But San Diego, I'm not going to the beach this weekend, but please, please be respectful and do what you're supposed to do. We don't want to get shut down like Orange County did. I know the beach is very important to a lot of people. You surfers out there, I can't imagine. I was really not in favor of them shutting down the ocean. I mean, the beach is one thing. Let them walk back and forth to the beach. And, you know, I'm a runner. I like to run on the beach. And I was doing that at Torrey Pines until they closed that. So let's keep it open, okay? Can we try that? Thank you. I'm a mom, you know. Just gotta talk like that. It's been a challenge with the homeschooling. It's not really homeschooling. I'm not homeschooling anything. What I'm doing is trying to home manage to make sure the kids are doing everything they're supposed to, because it's really hard to monitor what they're doing. I'm sure some people are better at it than I am. I mean, I micromanage enough, and to have to micromanage their school, gosh. This is, so that was 5 limes, I think. 5 limes. And this is a ruby red grapefruit or some kind of pink grapefruit. I don't know if it's ruby red. This is, for my taste, one of the key ingredients. Obviously lime is a key ingredient, but I love grapefruit juice, fresh grapefruit. You can do a little fresh lemon, but it's gonna be too citrusy. But this just adds so much flavor to the margarita. And with regard to the mint, you can muddle the mint right into here if you want. I usually just put a couple of leaves on top of the cocktail when it's done. You can even kind of smush it up so it releases some of that oil from the mint leaf, or you can chop it up, but I just put it on top, plus it's pretty. So this is beautiful grapefruit. I don't really eat grapefruit, but I make it in my drinks. And again, fresh is best. Now my friend John Hayes out there, who runs Brown-Forman or Jack Daniels, he is not approving of my silver tequila from Kirkland, but he says Herradura, and I know Herradura is the best, but I just don't have any right now. So I'm gonna put all of that juice in here, a whole thing of ruby red. And then we move on to tequila. As mentioned, John, I am out of Herradura. I do not have Herradura. I do not have El Jimador, but I have this tequila. Kirkland Silver, which is actually very good. I love silver. I love all tequilas, but silver is what I usually do when I make this particular drink. I'm just gonna eyeball this, and I'm gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4. That works. You can always add more. And if it's too strong, just add more ice. So that is in here. And then another unique ingredient that I personally do is, you know, most margaritas need a little sweetener if you're not using a mix. And like I said, that's like the cardinal rule against making a good drink is to use a mix. And I had made some simple syrup with this Manuka honey. Manuka honey is a highly active honey, and it's from New Zealand. It's from the Manuka bush, and it is amazing. I have a client that has a Manuka honey, and it's incredible. This is not my client, but I have another client. So I'm just gonna put one big on, it's from New Zealand, one big old spoonful, except it's a knifeful of this into the mixer. And in my opinion, this just imparts a lovely flavor to the drink without having, and this is very good for you actually, Manuka honey, without having the sweet, icky flavor that I can't stand in a drink. So that's going to, you gotta stir it up a little bit, and I'm letting the acids from the citrus help stir that up and dissolve it, and then obviously I'm doing that as well, and when I shake it, that'll happen more. So we've got fresh lime juice, fresh pink grapefruit juice in here, tequila, and Manuka honey, and that is all that's in here. Now I'm gonna shake the heck out of this, put it in a pint glass full of ice, and not fill it up all the way. And then I'm gonna put club soda in it, and that is another key ingredient for my margaritas. So the key ingredients are using fresh juice, one of which is a pink grapefruit, using Manuka honey, and using club soda. Those are the key elements to my margarita. Hang on, I gotta get my club soda. This is water, filtered water from my house. I have a whole house filter that filters everything, and I have a drinking water filter that takes out the fluoride, and a nice glass bottle, and then we are just going to put this into the soda stream to get it all fizzy. I hate buying plastic, and when people buy plastic water bottles, it just drives me crazy. Just get a whole house filter and drink the water from the house. It's better for the environment, it's better for you, it's better for the world. So you just make your own club soda, basically. Super easy. That way for people who drink club soda all the time, which I don't, I really only have it in cocktails. It's easy, and it's a lot more cost effective at the end of the day. This tastes really good. Yum, yum, yum. And then what we're also gonna do is put a little Grand Marnier floater on there. So hang on, I'm getting my ice. Okay. So in the event that John is watching me use the improper tequila in this, I will also get out my Jack Daniels Racing pint glass. So I used to manage this program for them, for Jack Daniels, the racing licensing program. And so I have some old glassware from samples from my licensees. And that was fun. That was fun when Jack had a car. Woo! Clint Boyer and Dave Blaney. That was a lot of fun. I remember when Clint Boyer went upside down in the '07 car across the finish line. I don't remember what race that was. This is many, many years ago. But okay, so fill a pint glass up. Oh yeah, I gotta shake this. Where's my shaker top? This is only part of it. Okay, this is not my normal shaker, so that's why I'm a little like, where are all the parts? Because Patrick used my Finlandia one. Let's see if I can hang it. Oh, here it is. I mistakenly put it in the sink. Okay, shaker. Don't spill on me. So just shake it up a little bit. I already got that manuka pretty much dissolved, so this should be, doesn't really need to be shaken. Like if you're doing a traditional martini like he does, where there's ice in here, and then you're pouring it out through the actual strainer, like this, then you have to shake it a lot more because you want that baby cold, but I'm just using it to make a cocktail. So I'm pulling this in. Can you see how high that is? About that much, maybe a touch more. And then I'm gonna fill it up with club soda the rest of the way. And this just makes a really beautiful, lovely, light drink. So you know how sometimes margaritas are extremely heavy and acidic and sweet and too much sweet and sour, just really not good, like most margaritas at restaurants? This one is not. Totally different, fresh. That's why I call it fresco. Oh, this is not open. Okay, Grand Marnier. You can also use Cointreau or whatever kind of orange liquor you want. I would not use triple sec. That's icky. So this is really just a floater on top. It'll sweeten it up slightly and add a nice little orange flavor. So just a tad of that. Oh, this is gonna be good. You can tell, can't you? And then my mint. Just rip a couple of mint leaves. You might get that in your teeth a little bit, but who cares? Hey, Vicky. Nice to see you. I wish you were here drinking a drink with me. Can't get them at the farm, so we gotta make them at home. Although I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite, best margaritas. Okay, that is my margarita fresca. So cheers to all of you, Friday Afternoon Club. And cheers to a beautiful Friday. Cheers to May Day. Cheers to the COD that's in the oven. We're gonna pull it out in a second. But anyway, cheers. So I wanna drink this, so I'm just gonna stop cheersing and drink it. So flippin' good. So good. So good. All right, I'm just gonna clear up some of this stuff. So when the fish comes out, we can talk about that. Let's see, let's read the directions. Oh, I didn't put olive oil in there. So I was also supposed to put olive oil in here. New recipe. So I will do that. A little olive oil in here. This is the shallot, which is onion in my case. Shallot, red wine vinegar, and mint. And supposed to be golden raisins, which I did not have. So I'm using Addy's jam. It's not jam, it's marmalade. Addy's Meyer lemon marmalade in lieu of the golden raisins because I think it will have a similar flavor. It smells so good. Okay, that is our indication that we need to check on the fish. So I'm gonna get that baby out, we'll see how it looks. Turn off this annoying beep, right? Okay. Oh, that looks good. It needs a little bit more though, I think. I'm gonna leave that in for a couple more minutes. It looks delicious though, so I can't wait to show it to you. Just get some of this stuff out of the way. But that was fairly easy to make. It looks fantastic. I think it's gonna be really, really good. There's a lot of ginger in there, so it might have a little bit of spice and bite to it, especially with the red pepper sauce, but we'll see. And then this is gonna go on top of it. I think that's it. And then you serve it right from the cast iron skillet. So despite all the stuff I had going around here with the bowls and but I also made margaritas. So there's a lot to clean there, but whatever, that's Patrick's job. Vicky, I'm drinking my margarita with you. Cheers. Cheers to you, Vicky. Oh, a float of amaretto. That's a good idea. That's an interesting twist on a margarita. Amaretto is I believe it's a hazelnut liqueur. Is it hazelnut? I think so, some kind of nut, amaretto. It's very sweet. or maybe it's almond, I don't know. I'm not personally a huge fan of amaretto because of how sweet it is. I don't like sweet stuff unless it's supposed to be sweet, like a cake or a cheesecake or a cookie or something like that. Like I would never drink amaretto as a aperitif or a cordial or anything like that because it's just too sweet for me. But I could see where in a margarita that citrus would cut the sweetness of the amaretto, so that's interesting. I'm still not going to do it, but you can do it, and I'll support you in that. Okay, so next, this is done. Spoon mint salsa. Mint salsa, that's what they call that. Divide among plates and serve directly from the skillet. Okay. I'm gonna give it one more minute, have one more drink of my sip, one more sip of my drink. Hey, Jessica Crate, how are you? How's your knee, your ACL recovery going? I hope it's going okay. I guess in some ways, you didn't really miss much of the ski season. I missed a lot of it, but you couldn't ski anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal, right? I'm sure you're recovering. I had that done back in '97, and I was running within 6 months. So you're probably coming up on, maybe not 6 months, maybe you're only 3 months into it, but you'll be able to run again in no time. And I do everything on that knee, and it's been '97, so it's been a long time, however many years that is. But I ski, and I can play tennis, and I bike, and I run, and do everything on that knee. So I'm glad you got that done. I had the hamstring done. I think you said you had the patella. But anyway, hopefully it'll go well. I'm sure it will, because you're such an athlete. See, you get it in your teeth. Oh well. Now let's get that baby out. Take a look at it. Oh yeah. This is what it looks like. So it's hard to tell if fish is done. I can tell these smaller ones are done. I think it is done. It looks really good. Looks really good. Okay. So you're just supposed to spoon this over it, which I'm going to do. Make sure you can see that. So it's chickpeas, the carrots, everything else. Yeah, I think you can see that. So we'll just spoon this directly over. Mint. And that marmalade is in here, the Meyer Lemon Addy's marmalade. This is where shallots would be better than using an onion like I did, because the onion versus the shallots, it's gonna be a little bit stronger flavor here, I think, but this looks really good. So the fish should be flaky and flake away easily and nicely, which this does. Yeah, this looks really good. And you just can serve it right directly from here. I'm gonna grab you. You're a long way away. Okay, this is what it came out as. So that was maybe 17 minutes in the oven, and you can see that the fish is flaked away nicely. That means it's done. Oops, it's saying rotate my phone. Born an original sinner. That's such a good song. Okay, let's try to do this again and not get the phone mad at me, but that's what it looks like. So it looks pretty good. I tasted a little bit of it, and I can tell you it is good, but I will actually eat the whole thing together and let you know how the flavors meld. I think we've used that word 3 times in this video. So thank you very much for joining me on this impromptu live cooking and margarita making expedition tonight. I hope you all have an awesome Friday, and I will see you on Cinco de Mayo making my carnitas and of course margaritas, if not before then. Have a wonderful one. Bye.